How you doing then? So welcome to this live or training or webinar, whatever you want to call it. I'm probably gonna be about 30 minutes, 20 minutes. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, I'm going to explain a few stats about social media, and then I'm going to help you understand how you can get more people to buy from you or engage with you or follow you or whatever the objective is that you're looking for by doing some simple things on some of these platforms, because a lot of you are not utilizing what's there in the palm of your hand, basically. And what I mean by that is I see lots and lots of content, especially reels. I'm going to talk about reels today. And you'll see, when we go through the different sections, you're going to see how it all links up. But you're spending lots of time trying to make reels because you want them to go viral. And it is literally like winning the lottery to make a reel go viral. And what I mean by that, it's not that you'll just get one that does it. You have to keep pumping content out, multiple amounts of content, and see if one gets grabbed. I think over the last 8 years, I think I've had 1 or 2 videos, excuse me, actually go viral. And the one that went really viral was actually, it's obvious really, but it was a story. It connected emotionally with people, and it was on trend. And it was it was actually my daughter. My daughter's diagnosed with autism, and it was Children's Mental Health Week, I believe, and we just basically shot a video. I got a new lens on my camera, and I said, come on, let's go and shoot a video for school, for a project. And that's what we did. And it struck quite a chord. So yeah, and that's the only one I've ever done that's gone naturally. The rest I've done through paid advertising. But there's a lot of things that people aren't doing with their paid advertising to persuade people to follow them or buy from them. If you've got a business, you want people to buy from you. It's about creating revenue and helping people at the same time. And there's some simple things that you can do that you're not doing that can fix this. And the biggest one is persuasion. And speaking to the right people at the right time. So, and listen, they don't teach this in school. They don't teach how to persuade in school. They don't even do this at Harvard Business School. You know, there's certain things and skills that you need in life that aren't actually taught. And one of the reasons I think that people, when they talk about persuasion, they think sales and, oh, I don't like sales. But think of this for a moment. Like, you are literally persuading or trying to persuade multiple times in your life, all the time, every day. You're trying to get your kids out of bed. You're trying to get your kids in school. You're trying to, persuade your partner to do something, change the wheel on your tyre or something like that. You're trying to do that every day. So you're actually doing this daily in everyday life. So it's not an odd thing for you to be doing it. You just link it to sales and people instantly think that it's a bad thing. So, you can't not do it, because you need to do it every day in your life. That's all you can do. So, moving on, just for the record, some of these people, or most of the people, I'm going to give you some stats now, like on the platforms, you might be running advertisements and stuff like that, and I hear this all the time, like, oh, my customers aren't on this platform, or my customers aren't on that platform. Well, they are, you're just not doing this properly, and I'll give you some stats. I'm going to go on my phone because that's where I've got them. So, in 2022, we're 2024 now, but in 2022 alone, there was 53 million active social media users in the UK. That's 77.9% of the UK population. Okay, that's going to be bigger now. That's going to be bigger. That's going to be even bigger. 98% of UK users use social media on their mobile devices. That's, you know, so if you're not optimizing as well with stuff, and this is a whole different category, if you're not optimizing with stuff for mobile, and you're, you know, especially landing pages, this is something I'll talk about another time, but you're going to get people leaving your site. And I think the stat, I think 75% of people land on your website and disappear due to too many clicks everywhere where they can go. The copy's not written correctly in a way where it's easily readable or scannable, because you get two types of people. You've got analytical people that you have to make the copy where they can read it all and it's got all the stats and everything that they want, and then you've got people like me that are lazy or impatient, and you want to be able to scan read it, get the information that you've got, and then go back and read through it if you think that it's valid for your time. And you have to think about these things, and a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't even think about this on their website. And again, it all comes back to persuasion. One of the things that you haven't got the beauty of on a website is the salesperson isn't across from them. So you have to actually handle this part through your sales copy in testing and split testing and the way that you lay it out. Okay, a great book, by the way, just before, is this. So this is a great one for the psychology of persuasion. It's by Robert B. Cialdini. It's got a PhD. It's a good book. I've read this a couple of times now. Go and grab a copy of that, and you know, or get the audio book if you don't like reading. But I read constantly on sales books, persuasion books, how to talk to people books, because it's not taught. One of the biggest skills that we need is communication and how to talk to people, and it's just not taught in schools. How the hell they haven't got a dedicated influence and persuasion, or how to talk to people correctly in sales in a school is unbelievable. You know, it is, it really is. So that's a great book. And yeah, moving forward. So, persuasion, your business now is very easy to obtain customers because of social media. We all know this. I've just given you some stats, and if you're watching this, you've probably got social media. So, it's just, you have to break through the noise, and different people and your customers act completely different on each of the platforms. Okay? I'm not going to talk about Google and Google Ads or anything like that. I'm just going to talk about Facebook, because Facebook's far easier to use. Google's not majorly difficult, but anybody can go and get a post, and anybody can set up some retargeting, which is something I'm going to talk about in a moment. And you're all posting reels already. Okay, so you're already doing this. And what I'm going to go through a simple little strategy system that you can use and that will work, and it'll work in any business. You just have to do a few things and think about what your business is. Or if you're an agency owner and you're working for a business, then use this as well, because you know it makes money. Marketing works when it's done right on these social platforms. It works. I wouldn't still be here 8 years later with customers paying me monthly retainers to get them customers. You know, so it does work. One of the things that people do, they give up too easily. They spend 50 quid, don't get a result, and they're like, it doesn't work. Well, life doesn't actually work like that, okay? So, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to rub that off of there. And we're going to talk about your content, okay? So, this here, I'm going to draw this here, if you can see that. Yeah, you can see it. This is either going to be a post, a video, or a reel. I'm going to call it a sizzle reel, because you'll be able to relate to this. Okay, or an ad. Sizzle reel, ad. Okay? Now, you're all posting reels. Everyone's posting reels or videos. I would use video rules, really, you know, the stats show that. You can do, one thing I will say though is in one sense, if everybody's doing the same thing, then you're not going to stand out. So if everybody's running video, I'll give you an example. There's a lot of people in my industry, they're all doing the same thing at the moment. They're running adverts and they're all sat in front of the camera talking with captions. Buy my product, this, come to my mastermind, all these other things. So I'm actually in the process of thinking of how I'm going to swap that around where it's not just a person talking. I've got a few ideas with that. You'll probably see my ad soon. But what I'm getting at is you've got to try and be the purple cow at the time. So if you try and make if you try and do the same as what everybody else does, nothing else stands out. Remember to be the purple cow. It's another good book, that is The Purple Cow. So you've got your sizzle reel or your ad. Now the first thing that you need to think about, which is important, is your customer for a start. And what I would do is I'd break down, people have got different personalities, so you need to be able to speak to all these different personalities because one person's going to be turned off to your ad, so you've got to go on the other bias with them, if you understand what I mean. So I would literally, let's take the health and fitness industry, all right? So I'm just going to rub that off, 1 second. And make it a little bit bigger. I would make 4 reels, and when I mean sizzle reel, I mean something that's not salesy, that's talking about your product or talking about, I'll give you an example in a minute, but it needs to be flashy and it's fast. So 15, 20 seconds, 30 seconds max, but it's like a movie reel, something that grabs people's attention. And one of the things that you'll get is, excuse me, Facebook will like more of your content if more people are watching the whole length of your video. Now bear with me a minute. If you've got a 2-minute video and a 30-second video, people are more likely going to watch the 30-second one. It's just a numbers game than they are the 2 minutes one to start with, especially if they don't know you. So you make your sizzle reel. So sizzle reel or video ad, however you want to do it, you can see that, right? But then you want to break, and we're doing it in the health and fitness industry, right? So you want to break that down into 4 categories. Can you see that? Yeah. Can you see that? Actually, I'm going to move that. I'm going to move it over. I can't go there because I've actually not blocked the light out over there, have I? So we're going to get your sizzle reel. Ad. Can you see that? Yeah. And then that is going to spur off into 4 categories. Now, what I mean by that is everybody's got a different, there's 25, well, there's more than 25 cognitive biases, but people are going to buy for different things. Now, let me give you an example. So, say we're running an advert for a gym, which we do, okay? Now, depending on your age demographic, okay, you've got a lot of different people that would want to go to the gym. It's not just the bodybuilder, it's not just the athlete that's trying to get his endurance up, it's not just someone trying to get 6-pack abs. You've got people that are a little bit older that just need to lose a little bit of weight. You've got people that want to use going to the gym for a mental well-being. So there's lots of different categories. So I would break it down into 4 to start with. You could do 16 depending on what your niche is, but you really need to, what you want to do is just sit and think. So for instance, sorry about that if that jumped, the memory card was filling up. It's not good practice, was it? So I would take my sizzle reel, I would think about my industry, and then I'd think about the different ways or different people that would probably come to the gym. Me personally, I've found, and this is only in my area, some of the easiest people to go for are middle-aged women, like between the ages of, like, I say middle-aged, 35 to 55. That demographic's quite good, but then you want to break that down even further on their habits, what films they watch and all that stuff, what TV programs, what magazines they read, what restaurants they visit. You can really break down the audience targeting, which is really important. You don't just want to cast a broad net out. Some people would disagree with me with that, because I do know some people that do that, but I think when you start working in different niches, like, you really need to, especially the fitness industry, because there's so many different reasons why people go. So let's do it. So you've got the men for six-pack abs, okay, six-pack abs. Someone like that. You've got someone that just wants to, and these are probably, to be honest with you, you're probably looking at your 18 to 30-year-olds. Okay. Now, one thing I will say about that, and this is stats. When you get past the age of 30 and you're selling a big ticket item, a gym's not so bad, but if you're selling a big ticket item, that's something that's expensive, you're probably going to want someone that's a homeowner, that's over 30, might have a business, that's actually got disposable income. I'm not saying all young people haven't, but the rule is most people later on in their life have normally got more money than what they have when they're younger, because they've worked more and they've discovered, they've done a lot more for themselves. So you could have women that want to get their confidence back, confidence. Oh, I can't even spell confidence. Know what I mean by that? If you look at the psychology of, I mean, I've worked in the fitness industry a long time, so it's that, I'll give you, here's a trigger for it, okay? Fit into that little black dress. Feel confident in your own skin. All these terminologies, we can use these as hooks. That's just quick ones. But, you know, women feel confident again. So women would go because they want to feel confident again. They want to feel better about themselves, yeah? And that's the same for men as well. You've got men that might feel that way. You've got people that want to go for the health benefits, not mental health, but just for health benefits. You know, studies show that, and this is just a stat, I don't know the exact stat, but studies do show that if you keep exercising daily, you can't reverse it, but you can slow the process down from your cells aging. Okay, that is scientifically proven. So you're talking about your youth. No one wants to get old, especially us men. Women are the same, but men as well. We're like, well, we don't want to get old. You know, I'm 40 now. Although I still go to the gym and that, I definitely I don't want to be getting any older, but it's just, unfortunately, that's just life. So anything I could do to try and reverse that at the right time, if it was spoken to me, I'm going to be interested in. So health benefits, and then mental health benefits. Mental health benefits. These are just a few. Like, there's so many in the fitness industry. You know, you could use. I tell you what, you could use. It's a bit controversial, but one of the biggest activators, if you like, for male is through mating. We're on this planet to reproduce. It's from 10,000 BC, or however far back you want to go. It's in our DNA to want to mate, and it's one of the strongest activators for why we're on this planet. Like, if you've only got to look at the sex industry, most of it's males looking at females. If you go and do the stats on it, and sex is exploited for males, and males spend a hell of a lot of money on that. You know, so you can use that bias to your advantage, and so you could literally date the woman you want if you was going after that certain kind of person. Get to the gym, get fit, get the body you want, six-pack abs, all that stuff. So you can start working on the triggers. Okay, this is why you need to sit down and really look at your industry and what triggers people to take the actions that they need to take. So you've got mental health benefits as well. Obviously, you exercise, you move, you feel better about yourself. We release chemicals in the brain, dopamine, endorphins, and feel-good effects. So the benefits from that, and you all know once you start moving and improving, you start feeling better. That also links on to your health benefits and your confidence. But you're going to have different people at different points of their life and at different ages feeling these different things, okay? So what you want to do is make a sizzle. Let's go back a step. You want to make a sizzle ad, okay, around some of these triggers that are going to get someone to take action, okay? Now, this all leads into what we're trying to do. We're trying to persuade someone to see us as an expert in the industry, trust us, buy our product, come to our gym, all that stuff, all right? So what I'm going to do now I've explained that, okay, let's go and talk about what I would do now if I was laying out my ad strategy. So this is the first part, before I've even put an ad together. Okay, what you could do with your sizzle ad, if you've got a low budget, you don't have to make loads of videos. You could probably get, for some of these, you can get stock footage, but just film one flashy, get a decent advert done. You know, there's plenty of tools out there now, AI tools that can help you do this very, very easily. So let's just rub that off. Okay. Right, so we've got our sizzle ad. So that's going to be what I call layer 1, okay? So advert 1, sizzle ad. Our sizzle ad, yeah? And this is going to be layer 1. So that sizzle ad, we know what we're going to do, and we've got 4 of them running, and we know what triggers we might want to use in our copy or our video or our headline, okay? Now, this doesn't want to be salesy. This just wants to be, you know, something quick, you know, like, and just put stats. You know, you could put, did you know science proves or reports prove that you can improve your happiness by such and such? I'll look at the stats on this, obviously. I'm making this up in my head at the minute. Can prove your well-being by just working out 20 minutes a day. Flashy ad, flashy ad, flashy ad. You could do it with, you could go the other way with the mating scenario that I just said, where it's you could talk about, did you know studies show that this isn't true, by the way, but you could find out that studies show that men that get their body in shape, well, no, this is true, men that get their body in shape with a six-pack feel far more confident in approaching women than they do if they're not in good shape. Do you see what I mean? I'm not saying that that's a true stat, because some people are confident when they're not. Actually, studies show that you get a lot of people that are actually insecure, and that's why they go to the gym. So then that's, you know, you're talking about the mental health issues or the confidence issues. Again, I'm just giving you some examples. You could do the bit about the endorphins. So you could say, if you're feeling depressed, studies show that just by working out for 20 minutes a day in a gym, and you've got it flash in your gym, and people working out and being happy, working on the emotional triggers, okay, show that it releases this amount of endorphins, this amount of dopamine, which is, studies show, is scientifically proven to make you feel more happier within the next 14 days or 30 days. Obviously, get the right stats on that. You have to research. I don't know what they are off the top of my head. It would be something that I would go and look into for my sizzle reel. So I'm just trying to give you some examples of an advertising campaign, okay? Now, let's just roll back a little bit. The stuff that I've just showed you and just spoken about already, you've probably not thought about before, because what you've probably done, you've probably made a reel, slapped it up on one of the platforms and not really thought about it. So if you've got this far, you've already got a lot more knowledge about what you wasn't doing and about what to do. So you don't have to spend a lot of money. Let's just say you've got, let's say you've got £100. So I would then find all my targeting. I'd spend £100 on something like awareness or an engagement ad, because this isn't salesy. We're just trying to get the views. We're trying to get as many views and people engaging with this advert. And there's a reason for that, okay? Because that leads into layer 2. Layer 2. Because what you can do is, there's a thing called a pixel on Facebook. It's so simple to do. There's even videos, free videos to do it, but people don't bother to go and learn how to do it. So what you could do is, oh, by the way, if you did want to learn anything like that, I've got a whole book. I'll put a link in below that you can get. It's £5 or £4.50, $5 it is. It's got 48 pages of everything that I'm just explaining here in far more detail across all the platforms. So just if you've got some value and you think you want to take a risk, it's not really a risk. Or even if you don't get anything out of it and you think it's wasted your time, message me and I'll refund you your money. So you've got no risk at all. Okay, anyway, layer 2. This is going to be a longer ad now. Ad 2. Now the reason this ad's longer, we've used the pixel and we've done what's called retargeting. Let's put it here. Retargeting. So important. You can retarget people on social media that have been on your website. You can retarget people that have engaged with your page or your ad, but we're just specifically going to do this ad. Yeah? So I'm going to track who's watched this video. Now, if it's only 30 seconds long, you know, there's loads of options on there. You can do 3 seconds, 10 seconds, full through plays. There's loads of options. I'm just going to track 10 seconds or above. Everybody that sees that or engages with it, likes it. I'm going to do like one, but mainly video views. And that's what I've set the campaign objective up for, by the way. Something I didn't mention before. So that's running. We've got £100 budget. I'm only spending a £5 a day, a £5 or a £10 a day at the minute. And then after 3 days, once I can see that the ad's getting traction, again, that's a whole different conversation about optimization, but I'd run this for 3 days, then I would come back and set up this ad 2. Now ad 2 is going to be a little bit longer. It might be 2 minutes long or 3 minutes long or 5 minutes long, depending on what the subjects that we laid out before that we're talking to and what people. And what I mean by that is, so this ad will be a little bit more salesy. So we're showing them the sizzle reel and the benefits of the different topics, whether it be what it gets six-pack abs to attract a girl you might want, the health benefits, get more confidence, all these different things. This advert is going to be a longer salesy advert directed, retargeted at them. So basically, what would happen when they come back on social media, they're going to see this advert. Now this advert, I would put yourself on. 2024 and 2023 is the rise of the individual, my friend. These big brands that do well have got faces attached to them. Remember that. You are the face of your business. Look at Tesla, Elon Musk. Yeah? Look at Zuckerberg. Look at Amazon, Jeff Bezos. You know these people's names. These massive corporations, but there's always an individual attached. You know, Bill Gates to Microsoft. Not that, you know, he hasn't built so much of a personal brand so much now, but if you look at Jeff Bezos, I suppose Elon Musk is probably one of the biggest. And a lot of marketers, Ty Lopez, Grant Cardone, Gary Vee, you know, he's got Vaynermedia. You know, they're all attached individuals, and you need to do the same for your brand. Okay, you need to get over the fear, and you need to put your face on it, because if you want to make money and sell things, that's what you're going to have to do, because people connect with people. So I'd do this second ad, which would be a little bit longer, and I'd be like, hey, now what would I say? I'd be like, hey, you saw my advert, or hey, it's me again. and I do this on purpose, because it's like, what? Hey, it's me again. You recently looked at my advert, or you took advantage of my advert, or you could go, hey, you're obviously interested in getting your confidence back, or working out, or coming to the gym, or you're interested in your fitness. Did you know? And then I would go into one of the subjects, you know, a little bit longer, okay, which I would plan out a little bit better than what I just said on this video. So for instance, If it was to do with mental health, I would go a bit more of a deeper dive on that and what the benefits are and how, you know, I would deal with some of the objections, like people think you've got to work out for an hour and a half every day. It's just not true. So I'd be talking about that, you know, so it'd be the time thing. So there'd be another objection on our layer one would be a lot of people say they haven't got the time. So I'd be like, did you know that you could just work out for 20 minutes a day and increase your mental well-being, increase your health, get yourself some six-pack abs by just being consistent? If you just give me 3 minutes, I'm going to show you our gym and I'm going to explain to you how you can utilise this small amount of time and then get your mental well-being up, feel better, more confident, and keep your youth as well. Okay, I wouldn't say keep your youth as well because that would be a lie, but I've just reeled that off in my head. And then I would start talking about that and I would have a CTA. So if you don't know what a CTA is, it's a call to action. So something that we're running at the minute, we've actually, because it's a lot of competition, it's a very competitive area. So we've run this, but what we're doing, we're allowing people to sign up for £1 for their first month and trial it with us, with the hope with them we're going to keep them as a member for the ongoing months. And the reason that that campaign works, or would work so well, is because it's the long-term customer value. So we've got to bring them in, give them a great compelling offer, which is another point that you want to make sure with your ad. You've got to be hitting all the triggers, and you've also got to make sure that your offer's decent. Because if you're offering something the same as everybody else, and it doesn't necessarily have to be cheaper, it could be just more value on the back end, depending on what your industry is. We've actually just done £1, because everyone's got £1. They think, Christ, I can go there for £1 and trial the gym. I know how good the people are in the gym that work there, so I know that this is going to work, and I know that it is currently working. So that is a real simple strategy. You can link all this up so it's automated as well. So they go into a lead form to fill their details in, and then you can have that populate for you in a Google Sheets form with their name, their number, and then you can give them a ring and pass it on to your sales team. And then it can also be connected up to an email sequence as well, where you can talk in there. There's so much to it, but that is how simple it is. So if you're posting reels, just have a little think, because you all are posting reels. Everyone's trying to get their content and their reels to go viral. This is the real easy way to do it. And with £100, you can do this. Testing it over 3 or 4 days, and you will get results. We're getting about 10 of these a day at the minute. Sign up. Okay, so even if he gets 1 out of 10 that stays on, you do the maths. It's quite good. You work out what the membership is, do your maths, and then you've got your bit on the end. Okay? So hopefully you've listened to some of that. Any questions? Obviously, Billy at realdeal-marketing.com. That's my email. You can send me a DM on either Instagram or on Facebook. And if you really want to take advantage of everything that I've done in the last 2 years that's still relevant for 2024, then click the link below or click the link wherever it is in here and go and get my book. Okay, go and get my ebook. There's a load of bonuses in there. I think I'll give you 4. There's about £300 worth of free stuff in there. There's training videos on how to create offers. There's training videos on how to optimize your LinkedIn to do this stuff as well, because a lot of people don't use LinkedIn correctly. You get, for $5, you get my ebook that's 48 pages long on how to get online customers in 2024, and how if your marketing is failing, this will fix it within those pages. I really go on a deep dive about all this stuff. You get how to build relationships and how to talk to people. My ebook on that's 48 pages long. That teaches you about persuasion. That teaches you about how to build these good relationships, be able to bring people in to your systems and sell your products and services if you've got a business. And also on there is my online sales strategies on how to sell, and good strategies that I know and that I've used and that I've earned a considerable amount of sales using myself. So you've got for $5, and by the way, for the $5, if you don't think that that is even worth it and you don't get anything out of it, message me and I will refund you your money, and you can keep everything anyway. So click the link wherever it is, whether it's in the text or whether it's in a learn more button. Just go to the landing page, all the information's on there, have a little look, and like I say, I guarantee you will get results from it. So I'll see you soon. I'll do another live soon. Over and